Again, final segment on a Monday, and I know we didn't get to all the audio we wanted to with you today from the coaching staff, from the players, from post-game. We got a lot of Dabo in the first segment. Again, catch that on the podcast. But our website, ClemsonSportsTalk.com, just $63.17 for 1 year coverage. We'd love to have you support us. We'd love to have you stand behind us. I haven't done the math in a while. Hey, Siri, what's $63.17 times 365? No, that's the wrong number. See, I can't even do simple math on the air. Hey, Siri, what's $63.17? I'll just do it right here, quicker than that. So 63.17 divided by 365 is 17 cents a day. 17 cents a day to stand behind us, support us, and help us grow, man. We'd love to have you do that. All right, so out to the phone lines. We go an unnamed caller earlier. Wants to talk a little bit about Clemson.
Yes, I'd like to maybe make some suggestions for the football program. Number one, Tony Elliott needs to go, as well as Robbie Caldwell and Thomas Austin, because the offensive line certainly can't block even a blocking sled right now. I'd also like to suggest that they take a look at a couple offensive coordinators. One, Willie Corn of Coastal Carolina, and Jeff Levy, offensive coordinator at Ole Miss. It's very evident. Georgia Tech played a three-man front and dropped 8. Also, they need to take into consideration maybe moving Will Taylor into the slot along with Stellato and maybe even giving the guy a shot there. Anyway, and when they go to look for an offensive line coach, they shouldn't consider Thomas Austin, because he's just nothing but a carbon copy of the philosophies of Robbie Caldwell. I'd go up to Wisconsin and try to attempt to hire their offensive line coach. They have a history of great offensive lines and big yardage gainers at Wisconsin. Thank you so much.
Appreciate the call. Yeah, Tony Elliott's obviously catching a lot of heat, a lot of scrutiny for the job or lack thereof that they've done this year offensively. And, to hear people bring up Jeff Scott's name as, how big of an impact was that earlier? We heard that message or the text that came through about that. And it's a valid point. I think you at least can ask that at this point, given what we've seen. Some of this obviously on the offensive line, agreed. Some of this obviously on DJ, agreed. Some of this obviously on Tony Elliott. And I think just the, jamming it all together, it just hadn't been good. And so how do you get better at this point in the season? If there would be some grand irony in this, though, like if Tony Elliott were to take a job at the end of the season and go somewhere else and become a head coach, could you imagine if Willie Corn came back to Clemson? Willie Crack Corn and I don't care. Willie Corn, who for years when he was playing at Burns High School was sort of seen as what Trevor Lawrence became, right? Like just this guy that was going to take you to the next level. And maybe even what Deshaun Watson was, just a guy that was going to take your program to the next level, and it never materialized. Wouldn't it be something if in 12 months, Tony Elliott's a coach somewhere, and like the previous caller said, maybe they go out and bring a guy in, like Willie Corn from Coastal Carolina, and what if he became the next big, coordinator at Clemson? Who knows? That would be a heck of a story. Then there's also the questions about Brandon Streeter and the work that they have or haven't done, maybe more specifically, to get DJ right. He's throwing off of his back foot, just doesn't look settled in the pocket. It's not comfortable to watch. No possession. Matter of fact, I can't think of really a possession this year, 3 games in, And they got a big matchup coming up against NC State this weekend where you just looked at it and went, man, that felt normal. That felt comfortable. Everything looks hard right now for this Clemson offense. And that, I think, is the biggest concern. It should be your biggest concern. Everything looks difficult for this offense in 2021. They have a championship-level defense. I think they have championship talent on the offensive side of the ball. But you've got to go out and get the JOB, DONE, the job done. And they're not. They're just not. Offensively, it hasn't been great. But they know it. They know it. And as Dabo Swinney said, I didn't even play that audio for you. Man, I'm a bad host. I'm a sad host and a bad host. All in one. I mean, the way Dabo Swinney opened that press conference the other day just made me think, man, he does not feel good about this team right now. At all. But you know what? You turn from a bad host into a good host when you get the job done. Here you go.
Unbelievable effort by our guys, tremendous heart. You know, we're getting better, but we're still a work in progress.
The way he said better there, we're getting better. Not great. We got to get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. Hope you'll join us. Until then, as always, y'all take care now. And go Tigers.
Clemson Sports Talk with Lawton Swan on Columbia's home for sports. Fox Sports Radio 1400.